Part 2: Ustad Amjad Ali Khan's collaborations with music and musicians from around the world, and the respect and empathy the musicians have for each other's cultures and customs, irrespective of race, lifestyle, or religion.
The whole thing about music is it unites people all over the world. You talked about in India itself, you went to the South India, you went to North India, everywhere. You're uniting a whole different people of different faiths, different. It is a unification where people don't talk about creed, color, race. It's the music that comes from the heart. And what you have been doing also worldwide is collaborating with different world musicians. Initially, one of the first musicians you collaborated with was Charlie Bird. Yes, correct. And the song, their album was Ragas and Samba, right? Now, Samba is Brazilian music, Ragas is Indian music, and Charlie Bird was known for using a lot of Brazilian music in his playing. And you know, so how did that develop? I think around the time you did that was when Charlie Bird was touring the U.S. Is that right? Yes, he came to. I saw him in Bombay, but you said you did it in Calcutta. I actually in Kolkata. Yes. The Counselor General of America, he had invited us. After his concert, he came to a counselor's residence and he requested me to bring my sarod. It was a very informal jam session, and whatever we did, somebody recorded that, and now the album is out. And we did the collaboration with Mr. Joe Walsh. He was famous for Regal and yes. So the Joe Walsh thing also, what you did was it was very because you played Martin Luther King's "We Shall Overcome." Yes. You did the song "Healing," where you sing. All those things are basically you're unifying the world. And with Sharon Isbin, Sharon Isbin, yes, you did the songs for peace, yes. Right? The string for peace, yes. And that, as far as I'm concerned, is so great because you're talking about peace in the world. And then you have your orchestra, which you did. And finally, you played at the Nobel Peace Prize. Yes. So when we are doing all that, it is, this is the unification. And I'd like to know some of the experiences you had when you were playing with all these musicians. You see, all the musicians of the world, we are like one close knit family. The world has, I mean, lot of, now we call it a digital world. And in music, there is a system of music which is called मेर खंड. वो तान होती है, embellishments है 5040 5040
My father, my father, he could only sign.
Yeah.
My mother also could sign. They could not read anything else. But you are a very educated person. Amit, will you, a knowledgeable musician who can't read and write, would you like to call him uneducated?
No.
So how will you call it?
If you can't, because it's coming from the heart, your music is from the heart. And a lot of people cannot. Are you talking about read and write music?
Right.
Yes.
No, no, even
Yeah, even regularly uneducated. They are some of the greatest, actually, if you really look at it, some of the greatest folk musicians don't know how to read and write. If you look at the Manganyars and
Yes.
all of them, and they are doing well still, all over the world. They go all over the world and perform, and it's just the music tells them what it is. For example, I'll give you an example of Ustad Fariduddin Dagar. We had a Japanese jazz musician who came into.
Yes.
His name was Sada Watanabe, one of the most famous jazz musicians from Japan. And he spoke English, but he speaks fast. Japanese speak. So he was at uh, Ustad Fariduddin Dagar's house because he wanted to listen to Drupad music. So we had taken him there. And initially, Ustad Fariduddin Dagar would explain what he was doing, and then I would translate it in English for him. And it was barely 2 or 3 times I translated things. And then he used to carry a very small saxophone called the sopranino, which is small soprano sax, in his bag. And after the third time something, he said something and he started singing and was trying to explain. And Siddha Watanabe said, "Don't worry." He took out his sax and then they just started conversing at his music. He understood what he was doing and they just played. And that is what musicians do.
Yes, yes.
Because the notes tell them everything.
Yes, yes. The music
Connects you.
music connects. And I remember once I received a email from Scottish Chamber Orchestra. They wanted me to compose something special for their orchestra. And again, I can't write music. I can't read music because most of the composers they write themselves. But I sang in a CD from A to Z. I composed in my mind and I recorded 45 minutes piece. And then I found Mr. David Murphy in London who conducted all my work. He knows Indian music and he could read my mind. And he wrote all the score for me. And now the score is ready for any orchestra. Recently, we have performed with London Philharmonic Orchestra, Chicago, and New York, a lot of France. So I have composed this. It's called Samagam. It's a Hindi caption, which means confluence of many cultures. Samagam. So we three of us, we sit, Aman, Ayan, and me, and 50, 60 musicians behind, and we perform together. I admire all the Western musicians that they can read and write and perform at the same time. I can't do that.
Yes.
We often say that Indian musician, we are three in one. While performing, I'm the composer, I'm the conductor, and I'm a performer also. But it's okay to say, but finally, somebody is conducting from divinity,
Yes.
from cosmic power. Others, because I'm just transmitting my thoughts, whatever I'm receiving. And when I have written for Western orchestra, keeping in mind what they can do, because I know what they can't do. They can't do the way we do, this meaned slides and glides. Da, da, na. This kind of slides and glides is the greatest blessings of God. It brings a lot of peace to your mind and system. So while playing sarod, I'm not playing sarod, I'm singing through my sarod.
Correct.
This is what my struggle, this was my struggle of life, that I always wanted to sing through my sarod. Da, re, e, re, na, re, na, a, re, na, re, na, re, na, re, na. So this kind of grace, it does not exist anywhere in the world. This everybody can play.
Yes, and what has happened now, because actually from Indian music, with the mean that you do, it has happened that in in the US and over the world, the blues musicians, they started doing the mean they because they're singing with it. A lot of the and now a lot of the rock musicians do it. But it was they called it bending the notes, the same thing you call it new mean. And then it was BB King and all of them started doing that and has changed. And actually, one of the people who used to do that before anybody else was years ago was a lady called Sister Rosetta Tharpe. And she was a female. She was a basic. Many people call her the father of the mother or the queen of rock and roll or the mother of because she did it in the 1940s before anybody else was doing it. So they are doing it because of that whole thing. And a lot of it has come from Indian music because a lot of them listen to Indian music, and so it is happening, and Indian music is influencing a lot of that music because they understand. It also comes from China, some of the Chinese musicians and Japanese musicians, and who also do that. But I think China also came from India in a way.
Yes.
So it is a very that's the whole point of the unification of music around the world, and that is what gives peace. As you do, you talk about strings of peace, and that's just the whole thing. It is such a beautiful thing that's happening in the world. While, as I always say, while the politicians try to divide us, musicians are trying to unite us.
You see, the character of India
Mhm.
is very difficult to understand, especially for the neighboring countries.
Yes.
My listeners come from diverse background. I feel I belong to every religion of the world. I feel I belong to every religion of India. Why are we fighting on account of religion?
I agree with you totally.
Because
Totally.
and it's not only the problem of India, this is the problem of the whole world. The elections, the politics, the base is religion all over the world. But in our country, it is more complicated. it is more crucial.
It is getting the same. I'm from America. It's getting the same way. It is people are just trying to find something to criticize. It is a very sad thing that's happening, and that's why I'm a big fan of music, because that's the only thing that keeps me sane when I listen to music. When I listen to all types of music from every part of the world, I've been. That's one thing that I'm happy I grew up in India, because in the US they were very blindsided about types of music, whereas here we were given the opportunity to listen to so much music, and it helps, and that's what unites the world, and that's what I want to talk to you about. And finally, when you were talking about doing something with Joe Walsh,
Yes.
that's what I wanted to come back to, is what you and Joe Walsh did, the prayers thing, right? The prayers record, where you gave the money during the pandemic. Your proceeds were given to the what is that? Some intra health
Yes, yes,
organization, which actually gave helped
yes.
all the nurses and all the first responders who were working during the pandemic,
Yes.
putting their life on the line, and nobody was there helping them. And the two of you, decided to do something with all the other musicians who joined in to help, which is what makes the world such a wonderful place to
Yes.
live in. That there are musicians. It's normally the musicians, I've noticed, who always come to the fourth, whether it was uh, George Harrison during the Bangladesh, or whether they did that live aid over here, they do concerts to help people. It's always been musicians
Yes.
people who come forward.
We feel that.
Yes, and
Most of the musicians, they are very kind, compassionate, and very helpful. But the younger generation, I'm still performing schools and colleges, and very, very appreciative. And the credit goes to you, your college, St. Xavier's College, when you began Indian Music Group in 1974. Ustad Zakir Hussain and I, we were the first musician to perform.
yes,
And the best part is that your college, every year, Jan Fest, the festival, recently I performed in January, it's all ticketed. So this is very important, that every event of music should be ticketed. Music should not be heard free, because anything which is available free, it doesn't have any future. So it is my appeal to all the listeners of India, especially the students, that please contribute some help, some financial help, or some donation to the music organizations, because you have to keep music alive, you have to patronize, you have to look after our culture and our heritage. And I also would like to say that the character of our country, that we depend on each other. Mm. It's like bouquet of flowers of so many different colors, so many different fragrance. And every religion of India, we depend on each other. And this dependentness is our strength. You know that Amjad Ali Khan plays Sarod, but perhaps you don't know who makes my Sarod.
correct.
My Sarod maker is Mr. Hemendra Chandra Sen. So this is the relationship. If Hemen Babu does not give me a good Sarod, how can I play?
Correct.
Mr. Hiren Roy, the great sitar maker, he made sitar for Ustad Vilayat Khan Sahab. or many other great sitar players. So this give and take, who is making sari in Banaras and who is wearing saris? So this, we depend on each other, we care for each other, and we love each other. So we are very, very fortunate that we belong to India, and we are sharing the culture of India, sharing the music of India all over the world. Yeah. And I'm grateful to my family. My wife, she herself is a very famous, very knowledgeable Bharatnatyam dancer, Subbalakshmi Barua. And my children, Aman, Ayan, and now my grandchildren, Abir and Zohan, my daughter-in-law, Nima Sharma. So my family has given me so much encouragement, so much love, care, that I'm still performing, I'm still traveling, and always looking forward to meet my grandchildren. They are now 13, and sometime we play together, and we are invited for our Sarod Quintet.